Writer Joan Didion has been a success for nearly half a century, but her 2005 bestseller, The Year of Magical Thinking, really touched a chord with readers, telling the heartbreaking story of coping with her husband's sudden death. Now she has a follow-up called Blue Nights, and Jeff Glor sat down with Didion to talk about it.
Rebecca, it's another tough subject here. 20 months after Didion's husband died, she lost her only child. This book is a reflection on her daughter's life, sort of a confession for Didion. And as you might expect, it is beautifully written.
Blue light is going, the days are already shortening, the summer is gone. This book is called Blue Nights because at the time I began it,
Blue Nights, the sky's color in New York during late spring and early summer, where Joan Didion wrote The Year of Magical Thinking about the death of her husband, and where she wrote her latest.
Blue nights are the opposite of the dying of the brightness.
A book that almost didn't come to be.
You said you almost didn't finish it. Why is that?
I almost didn't finish it because it was really hard to write. It was hard for a lot of reasons. It was hard because I didn't want to deal with my daughter's death.
She wove white stephanotis into
Quintana Roo, Didion's only daughter, died in 2005. She was 39.
This was never supposed to happen to her, I remember thinking, outraged, as if she and I had been promised a special exemption.
The Year of Magical Thinking was tremendously therapeutic, but it kind of wrote itself.
And it happened very quickly. What, 3 months you wrote it?
I wrote it in 3 months, yeah. Well, this one took me longer. It just took me a long time to get to face the idea that I was going to do it.
When we talk about mortality, we are talking about our children. I just said that, but what does it mean?
Didion said she began writing Blue Nights as a broad study on parenting. It became a much more personal reflection of her own role as a mom.
She's about 4 or 5 there.
And she admits it's not always pretty.
How do you evaluate yourself as a parent?
I don't think I was a particularly good parent, but I don't know what I could have done to be better. I don't think anybody is a wonderful parent in every way.
You say that you don't know many people who think they succeeded as parents.
No.
Why?
Well, how many people do you know who think do you think they're right if they think they succeeded as parents? Here she had just come home from the hospital. She was like 10 days old. Nothing made me happier than having a baby. Has anything made you happier?
No.
Nothing?
No.
No.
No. But yet it's still difficult to judge whether or not
I was successful at it, yeah.
The irreversible changes in mind and body, the way in which you wake one summer morning less resilient than you were, and by Christmas find your ability to mobilize gone, atrophied, no longer extant.
In the book, Didion also confronts the aging process. This glamorous, globe-trotting scribe from the 60s is now 76 and says she realized rather suddenly she won't be forever young.
After John died, it occurred to me that I was getting older because I'd always seen myself through his version of me. And suddenly he was dead, and clearly that meant older. And lo and behold, once again I found myself being really surprised that I was not 28.
Time passes. Could it be that I never believed it? Did I believe that the Blue Nights would last forever?
Do you think you're a stronger writer now?
I'm a much stronger writer.
Than you were 30, 40 years ago?
Than I was 30 years ago, yes.
What's next for you?
I have no idea.
Another book, though, at some point.
Another book, yeah.
You're not done?
No. No, wouldn't that be awful?
It would be.
To say to yourself, you're done, I think.
Wouldn't that be awful?
It would be awful, and she's not.
She's not. What do you think is next for her? I mean, she didn't really allude to it there, but...
She said probably not a novel, something nonfiction, probably not politics. She's covered politics before, but she says she wants to stay away from domestic politics in 2012.
Too messy?
So yeah, well, yeah, maybe.
One thing you got into with her is family and parenting.
Yeah.
You're a dad. Did she give
Yeah.
you any advice?
We had a great time. I mean, the session almost felt like therapy a little bit. This talk. You know, I said, listen. At the end of this is her looking at Jack, by the way.
Oh, that's your son, Jack.
Yeah, so she has seen pictures. And I said to her at the very end, you know, just as an aside, I didn't plan this. I said, listen, parenting advice, you to me. And she said, just love that baby. That's
Good
all
thing
you can
do. Very much. Jeff, thank you,
Sure.
as always.